Do you ever go down a rabbit hole you didn't expect? That's exactly what happened to me the other night. I was just casually browsing the internet and somehow ended up calculating how much it would cost to raise a child in Dubai. Not because I'm planning for a kid right now, let's be clear with that, but because I like knowing what I'm walking into if or when that ever becomes a thing. I like to be ready. And you know that very well. And honestly, I didn't expect the numbers to be that wild on a month-to-month basis. I'm not even talking about luxury or private jets or designer strollers or any of that extra stuff. I'm talking about basic, normal life. Birth, health, school, childcare, weekend stuff, just trying to raise a kid with a decent quality of life here in Dubai. And let me tell you, it's expensive, like really expensive. So I thought, you know what, let's make a video about it. I'm going to share everything I found out. The cost of giving birth, buying all the baby gear, school fees, nannies, insurance related stuff, the works, basically everything that hits your bank account from day one. And to anyone watching who already has kids in Dubai, I really need you to jump into the comment section later and tell me if I've missed something, or if the numbers I've found are off, or worse, if they're actually worse than I think, because I genuinely want to know so I know what I'm stepping into. Alright, let's start from the very beginning. Day 0, when the pregnancy starts. Now obviously this is going to depend on where you go for care, but assuming you're doing things privately, which most expats in Dubai are, you're looking at some serious costs even before the baby shows up. I was seeing prenatal packages that go for anything between 6,000 to 12,000 dirhams just for regular scans and checkups. And that's assuming everything goes smoothly and you don't require tests along the way. If there are complications or extra tests like I mentioned, the bill climbs really fast. Now it's time for delivery. That's where it hits hard. A normal delivery in a private hospital here is around 15,000 to 25,000 dirhams. And if you're thinking of C-section, it's easily 25,000 to 35,000 dirhams. And that's without including postnatal care or the extra charges that sneak in for things like room upgrades or longer stays. I even saw some people mention being charged for baby blankets and formula by the bottle in the hospital. I think that's madness. And here's where it gets interesting. The insurance. If you're on a basic policy, your maternity coverage might be limited, or worse, might require you to have been on that plan for 12 months before you can even claim anything. So if you just upgraded your policy thinking you're fully covered, surprise, you're not. So you need to read the fine prints. Okay, so now the baby is born. You're thrilled, you're exhausted, and you suddenly realize you now need to buy a mountain of stuff you probably don't even know the names of. Crib, car seat, stroller, bottles, baby monitor, changing table, sterilizer, bath stuff, clothes, more clothes, diapers, wipes, formula, unless you're breastfeeding, which even then you're still buying a breast pump and milk storage bags and all this gear. So the list goes on. When I added it all up just to get baby ready, it came to something like 10,000 to 15,000 dirhams minimum. And that's not counting monthly costs like diapers, wipes, formula if you need it. That's probably 5,000 to 12,000 dirhams a month just keeping the baby alive and clean. So within the first year, you're easily hitting 40,000 to 60,000 dirhams in baby related expenses, and that's assuming no major medical issues and no wild spending goes on. Now let's talk about childcare. This one surprised me. I always knew people hired nannies in Dubai, but I didn't realize how standard it actually is. If both parents are working, or even if one just needs help at home, most people have a nanny or maid who also helps with the kids. A live-in nanny will cost you anywhere between 2,000 to 3,500 dirhams a month. But that's just salary. You're also paying for her visa, health insurance, annual ticket, and of course her food and accommodation. By the time you add all of that up, you're looking at 40,000 to 50,000 dirhams a year. And if you don't go the nanny route, then it's nursery. And let me tell you, nurseries in Dubai are obviously not cheap. I found places charging 25 to 60,000 dirhams a year, depending on multiple factors. That's before school even starts. And these are just regular nurseries, not elite international programs. Speaking of school, let's get into the big one. School fees in Dubai are in their own category of stress. It feels like the moment your kid hits FS1 or KG1, your wallet starts crying. I looked up a bunch of well-known schools, not even the most expensive ones, just the regular British or IB curriculum options, and fees ranged from 30 to 60,000 dirhams, and I found a few that are a little less than that per year in the early years, and then jumps up to 80 to 90, even over 100,000 dirhams per year in secondary school onwards. And that's just tuition fees. You've also got to pay for books, uniforms, transportation if needed, school trips, after school activities, and what they call building fees, which, side note, sounds optional, but it absolutely isn't. So let's say conservatively you're spending an average of 50 to 70,000 dirhams per year every year from age 4 to 18. So that's over 1,000,000 dirhams by the time your child graduates from high school. I wish I was joking, but it's reality. And then comes healthcare. You've got to add your child to your insurance policy. That could mean an extra 2 to 5,000 dirhams a year depending on your plan. And even then, every time they catch a cold or get an ear infection or have a weird rash, which apparently happens every week you're visiting a pediatrician. That's 200 to 500 dirhams per visit depending on the clinic and your insurance policy. Now let's talk about vaccines, emergencies, medications, all of that, which adds up to the visit. So you've got this running background cost even if your kid is generally healthy. And we haven't even talked about lifestyle stuff like birthday parties. If you want to throw a birthday party at a soft play place with 20 kids and a clown, you're probably spending 2 to 6,000 dirhams easily. Now there are also after school activities like sports, music classes, swimming, whatever. Every term, that's another 1,000 or 2. Summer camp could be 800 to 2,000 dirhams per week, depending on how fancy it is. Multiply that by 4, 5, 6 weeks, and it's a chunk going out of your wallet. Even a regular Saturday afternoon, going to a play area, grabbing lunch, maybe a movie, that's 300 to 400 dirhams every single weekend. It becomes part of the routine and you don't even realize it's eating your budget until the end of the month when you're like, wait, where is my card crying and where did all my money go? And sure, you can always try to cut corners. You can choose cheaper schools, you can limit activities, you can do more at home, but realistically, most people end up spending a lot more than they expected because the city kind of nudges you into it. And every parent just wants the best for their kid. So it becomes really easy to justify every new cost because it's your baby and you want to spend on them for them to have a good time. Now, I know every family is different. Some people are raising kids here on tight budgets and doing an amazing job. Others go all out with premium schools and international trips and full-time staff and stay-in nannies. I'm not judging either, but I think what matters is being aware of what things actually cost so you can plan better, save smarter, and not feel like you're drowning later on. And this is where I need your help. If you're watching this and you are a parent raising a child or multiple children in Dubai, did I get these numbers right? Was I too high or was I too low? Are they realistic? Did I miss something massive? Or better yet, what are the costs that totally blindsided you when you first had your child? Because for someone like me who hasn't gone through it yet, it's impossible to know what's just theory and what hits you in real life. Let's open it up, drop a comment, share your thoughts. If there's a survival tip you wish someone had told you in year 1, share that as well. I'm genuinely here to learn with all of you guys. And I can't believe I made this topic. It was so weird to talk about some of these things, but it is what it is. We're all in the age where we just got married and we're thinking about the future. And with that being said, if you stuck around this long, thank you. I know this was a bit of a deep dive, but I think it's one that more people in Dubai should talk about, because raising a kid isn't just about love and time and attention, it's a financial commitment, and in a city like this, that commitment can be serious. If you found this video helpful or you think someone else should see it before they take the leap, give it a like, share it with them, and subscribe if you want more real life, no nonsense takes on money, lifestyle, and surviving Dubai without losing your sanity. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.